Hi everybody, so we're on to our next section. Let's learn about the subatomic particles. So this sounds like a scary thing, but it's not. Subatomic literally just means inside of the atom. So we're going to talk about the particles or the little pieces that are found inside the atom. You've heard of these before, don't worry. So we have protons, neutrons, and electrons. Those are the three subatomic particles. So when I ask you, hey, what are the three subatomic particles? You're going to tell me protons and neutrons and electrons. Let's talk about the difference between all of them. So you remember what we just talked about? Two of them live inside of the nucleus. Those are the protons and the neutrons. They're in the nucleus. But the electrons are zooming around outside in those energy levels, okay? Now, they all have different charges. Protons are positive. Oh, good, they both start with a P. That's really easy. Neutrons are neutral, so they have no charge at all. Not positive, not negative, nothing. Electrons are the negative ones. Okay. Now we also want to think about their mass. Even though these things are super tiny, they do have some mass to them. But the problem is because they're so tiny, we cannot use like grams or pounds. They're so little. So instead we have this made up unit called atomic mass units. And so protons and neutrons both weigh 1 AMU or atomic mass unit. Okay, they just weigh 1 each, and basically that's just a super teeny tiny way to measure mass, way smaller than a gram. Electrons are a little different. They are so tiny that they don't even have any mass at all. It's just teeny tiny compared to the protons and the neutrons. One of the big things that you're going to have to be able to figure out is, well, how many protons or neutrons or electrons are in an atom? How many of each subatomic particle does it have? So this last column is going to be really important so that you can tell me how many an atom has. So the protons in an atom will always equal whatever the atomic number is on the periodic table. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But just remember, protons always equals atomic number. Neutrons are a little different. Neutrons, you're going to have to do a tiny calculation. It'll be okay. You need to do the mass number from the periodic table and subtract minus the protons. Okay, so you'll subtract mass number minus protons, that equals the neutrons. Electrons are pretty easy. They will equal whatever the protons are as long as we have what's called a neutral atom. Neutral atom means same number of protons and electrons. That means that the positives and the negatives are canceling out. That'll get a little tricky later, but for now, let's just go easy and remember that electrons will equal protons. All right, that's it for that section. On to the next one.